All right, Aussie Comp Part 2. We're going to give you a progress update on how we're all going. I want to especially talk about how composition can be a struggle sometimes. I've certainly felt it today and, not felt inspired, and we'll go through some solutions. So, as you know, it is the holidays. It's Tuesday now, second day of the holidays, and there has been a lot of procrastination. I know I got to get this comp thing done in the next few days, but I just don't want to do it, and I would much rather be playing right now. I've been finding it hard to find inspiration, and there's all that thought about not wanting to start as well. I think one of the reasons behind that is I'm not great at songwriting. I haven't had much experience. I shouldn't say I'm not great at it. I've just not had experience doing songwriting. And because of that, I always find that my ideas aren't as good as I would have liked. So upon reflection, I'm finding that I'm setting incredibly high standards for, the first song I've written in forever, to try and make it perfect. And I think that's very unrealistic. Right, and so one of the solutions I found is setting a hard and fast deadline. One of these deadlines I set for myself is this morning I told myself that I will finish the second verse of my song before I do anything else. And I did. I managed to achieve that within roughly an hour or just over an hour. And so it shows that when you've got small, manageable goals, you can slowly see progress. Even if you don't feel inspired or anything, you'll still see progress on your composition. That's certainly a piece of advice I want to impress on you guys. I also want to go through some of how my comp is going. So far I've got 2 verses, and part of the process is that I just jot down any idea into my book. I'll give you a few screenshots of my book so that you can see where those ideas are flowing, but also I do find inspiration from other sources. I find that really helps. So on the last day of school, I borrowed a book from the Turramurra High School library. It's titled Fire by Jackie French. It's a picture book, and it's illustrated by, I think, Bruce Watley, I think his name is. Just great for inspiration, just seeing pictures and seeing how someone else tells a story. But it's always good to have certain references or sources that you can draw inspiration from. Another thing I do in my process is I do sometimes use a computer. On the computer, I only ever have things like a dictionary to define words that I'm not familiar with, possibly finding synonyms, possibly finding rhymes. But other than that, I would suggest just using pen and paper so that you can really stay focused and not get distracted. I put down all my ideas on the page, and so you can see that there's just so many tangents that I could go along with, but I choose one of the paths to take. So far my song has 2 verses. The first verse is about travelers enjoying themselves. The second verse is about how the summer heat turns into bushfires and it causes chaos all around the land. And my hope is in the third verse we'll talk about wildlife, and the fourth verse about the regeneration that happens in the bushes. And I also decided not to write the chorus because I'm not feeling amazingly inspired. So the chorus might come later, but so far I've scrapped it. And one of the hard things about songwriting that I've found is I've currently got no music at all. It's more like writing a poem. And so I'm not familiar with writing poems, don't have much experience. And so that's what's causing it, making it harder. But I am making steady progress, and I think once the poem is written, the song will flow, and it will be easy to add the musical elements in once the words are all written. So that's my approach to it. All right, I'll check out right there, and we'll hope to see you next time on part 3.